Let's do it, cuz.
All right, y'all. Welcome to Toya Talks. How you feeling, cousin?
Man, another day alive, blessed, so I can't complain at all. How you doing today, cuz?
Oh man, I can't complain. So here is what we're talking about. Well, before we talk about what we're talking about, I don't know if y'all remember my cousin, but his name is Robert. We all call him Duty. So I'm gonna go with Duty.
That'll work
And
for me.
so I thought that you did so good the last time, to me, and I kind of felt biased because I was like, that's my cousin, but I really didn't expect you to bring the heat like you did. It was so intellectual on a different way. I expected you to be a clown like how you are, in real life. You was
Yeah.
really dropping some jewels. So I was like, you know what? My cousin is the person that I want to discuss this topic. So, without further ado, we are going to be diving in talking about the struggles of dating. So,
Woo.
cousin, I have a question for you.
Let's
Do
do
you
it.
want to know my struggles or do you want to know the questions that I have for you? Which one you want first? Which smoke you want?
I don't know, because I feel like this is like a setup question. So I want to know your struggles. Before we even talk about me and what I think, I want to know how you feel right
Okay, so this is my struggles. My struggles, I think that first and foremost, I think that men are extremely selfish and very possessive.
now. Ooh, that's hard. Like you came out the gate. This is what you came out the gate and did. You was like, hey everybody, we gonna have that conversation. Oh, okay.
Well,
I
if you asking me to be honest, I'm being honest, and so let me explain that. When in the dating world, my experience was that men are possessive. The reason that I say that, maybe I should say territorial. Maybe that's a better way to say it, right? So when I say that, I mean like when I was dating. I think my experience was that if I told men that I was dating someone else, they would, oh, well, I'm going to let you chill. I'm going to let you do you. And then I'm going to holler at you when you finish dating other dudes. And I'm like,
yeah,
how is that a thing?
real men not doing that. If the man was doing that, then he wasn't really trying to date you. He was just a yeah with the yeah. He wasn't really important. Now, as far as the portion of men being territorial, I can agree with you to a sense, but at the same time, in my experience of dating, the good women actually want to be territorial. They want to. It's a thin line for a woman from being a man or just being territorial. Like a woman wants his man to post them all on Facebook. He wants everybody to know, no, this is my lady, this is my wife, this is my girl, this is whatever. But there's a thin line of going overboard and saying, all right, you need to back up. There's some men, they don't like the girls that have male friends. They can't have conversations with dudes without them knowing them. That's crossing the boundary of, being territorial and possessive. So that's why I
No,
the thin.
here's where I think that we differ. I'm talking about dating. I'm not talking about you're in a relationship. I think that yes, that women want that when you're in relationship. Yeah, then I want you to post me and stuff like that. But if we're just literally just dating,
Oh yeah, nah, shut it down. Shut it down. You gotta keep it cool.
because I'm not posting you. If we
Yeah,
just dating,
not at all.
you don't get no action over here. So
At all.
no.
Okay, so no, you know what? I'm glad you said that because to me, I'm not a huge dater, so I can't say too much. But I've got enough dating experience to know this. Social media is a huge thing in today's day and age. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no way around it. That's just the way life is. I feel like social media plays a huge part in dating. It plays a huge portion in getting to know someone. Now, you don't even have to get to know someone in this world. I can literally look on your page and like, oh, I can tell if I like her now. Oh, twerk video, twerk video, twerk video. So I don't know. It's just dating just in this day and age is just tough, man.
I'm glad you said that. I have a rebuttal for
But
your rebuttal.
media. Women love social media to the point of where, you know, even if we're dating, okay, we're dating, we haven't gotten to the point of posting each other. There are a lot of women out there who will turn that into an argument. And they'll go, yeah, well, we've been talking for about 3 weeks now. I haven't seen you tag me in anything. What? Tag you? So I don't know. Social media is another big factor too. I think you should talk about.
I definitely do, and that is on my list. But back to my rebuttal. I think that far too often we as women are judged as we're judged based off of your perception of who I am based off of social media. Now, me personally, I am always aware that I have to think about what I'm posting, right? Because I understand that perception is everything. People perceive how they perceive you is what they automatically categorize you as, not who I think I am to myself. So I understand what you're saying, but I also think that that's a little bit unfair sometimes because I don't think that everything that you perceive me to be on social media is who I am to myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But that's not the world that we live in. If it's on social media, it's true. Right now, if I can make a duck fly out the back of my head, they're like, hey, tell do that. A duck fly out the back of his head is crazy. I mean, I wish it was just that simple, but I feel like in today's dating day and age, common isn't common. It's not.
That's true. Now, just so we could just stay on this wave that we on, since we're talking about the internet, right? I think that technology has a lot to do with dating, and so let me explain that. I say, one of my biggest pet peeves when I was dating was, I was like, is this a new thing? Maybe I'm old. Why does everybody like to text? Nobody picks up the phone these days. Nobody actually likes to talk. And listen, I work in the office 8 hours, so I prefer texting when I'm at work, but I don't always prefer that because I have a job where I can talk on the phone. But if all you do is text, I am too old for that. It irks my nerves. I don't like it.
Well, see, I can understand you, but I can tell you this, cousin, I am the exact opposite. Look, girl, we can text all day.
I hate you. I hate you.
And this is my thing. To me, that's the thing that lets me know if I really like a girl. Like, I just rather text. Not even in dating, just people in general, man, shoot me a text. I can respond back way faster.
I text you and it took you forever, so I called you.
I'm trying to get dinner ready and stuff. As a single man, I gotta take care of myself, baby. We're making steak and potatoes tonight. I'm just waiting for the oven to get ready. and I think that is a good flaw because I say that when if I'm meeting someone, I'm just giving them the default. I'm gonna shoot them to text. But if I end up meeting a girl and instead of texting, we're actually talking on the phone or we're video chatting changed the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Game, so if we can actually talk on the phone and have a conversation, that would intrigue me more into a woman now because of today's day and age of the default. Let's just text each other. Like this would let me know I was old because I hadn't gone out in a while, and I went out and these girls come up to talk to me and they're like, oh, okay, so I'm like, all right, cool, you're cute, let's exchange numbers. And she's like, all right, here, get my Snapchat. I was like, get your Snapchat. Like, yeah. Oh, you don't got Snapchat? Here, let me just at me on Instagram. Let me get your at. Your at? I'm like, baby, your phone don't work. You connected to the Wi-Fi in the club. You can't get your phone number. That's what kind of made me feel I was old. Like, so.
Look, somebody asked me recently, you have a Snapchat? I said, yeah, I have one, but I don't know how to work it. I just use it for the filters. So I think we old, cousin. I really think we old.
Yeah. So that it threw me off. She's like, yeah, I'm just getting a Snap name. Snap name? You don't got a phone number? Like, I prefer to talk on the phone. But that's technology. That's just the way some people are personally. Some people don't like that in-person connection. People don't know how to get an actual connection with each other now. With technology, growing COVID in technology. Girl didn't even start talking about trying to date during technology and COVID. Oh, let me get because
I cannot with you. I am done. So, another, I don't know what you would call it. I don't even know if I should say this. This is gonna make me sound so shallow. It's the fact that, like, dating, when I was dating, I have an 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, just being willing to go back And so for me, that was like trying to get over that hump of dating someone with smaller children, or like just with children period, but with smaller children. It was something that I had to come to realization that, is this something that I want to do?
Most
um
definitely.
and then it's like, you don't have to worry about my daughter. She's 18. She's gone now. Now she lives on her own, so that's not a thing. And so that was something that was like, I felt like at one point in my dating life that I was meeting men that had 1 year olds, 2 year olds, three. I'm like, goodness gracious. And then
And
I'm
that's
looking at their age,
not
and I'm like,
the problem, because your daughter is, kind of out of the nest now, and you kind of don't want to start over.
no, that wasn't it. I was looking at their age. These are men that are in their that were in their mid 30s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can't be mad that they're just not starting. That means that they've lived their full 20s, and
Yeah.
they've lived their lives, whereas I was knocked up early.
Like,
um
early.
I look, don't judge me, but so it was like, you can't really be mad, but then it's like, really, what do you do with that? What do you want to do? That was a struggle when I was dating.
Yeah.
um I don't know, I wasn't,
It,
but
and
now it's
so that's
whatever.
one thing you should tell dudes. Give me a perspective on that. Like, it, just over time, I kind of learned to feel it out. But what's the best way to, when you're trying to date a woman with kids? Because when you're dating a woman with kids, you're not just dating a woman. You gotta like the kid. You and the
That,
kid have to have some understanding. You can't just be
that's
like,
true.
hey, your kid don't like me, we still together. Not in a long distance relationship. So how can you actually get to know a child, that's not yours, without trying to overstep the boundaries, or make this child think you're trying to replace the dad? Or I think that's something men would love to know, because I still don't know it.
For me, all I could say is, when my daughter was in the household, to love me is to love my child, right? And so I take that same approach with a man with children. But for a man, when I was dating, was, I'm not asking you to step in and be her father, but what I am asking or requiring of you is for you to show interest, that you are trying to get to know her outside of me. Like, just to have a relationship. I'm not asking you to be her father, because she already has a father, but I am asking you to not just want to date me. There are men that just want to date you, and you can tell. You can tell because those men are like, let's go out to eat, always wanting to do things with just you. But
Yep.
are you incorporating yourself with my child? Are you talking to her, or are you only talking to her when I'm around, just so I can make it seem like it? Are you checking on her? If I tell you something's going on with her, you should, and if I'm really dating you, you should be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, I talked to your mom. Your mom told me XYZ. I just wanted to check on you, see how you doing. To me, that shows me that you're interested in building a relationship with my child. And I think that for single mothers or mothers with children, that's what they're looking for from a woman aspect. We just want to
Yeah.
see that you are interested in building a relationship with our child.
Yeah. I can feel that. And fellas, just a little sneak trick. If all that, just do TikTok videos with their kids. You hear me?
There you go. I'm not about to play with you. And so for me, there was, when I was dating, the biggest thing that I struggled with, that I never figured out what was was a good balance, was I felt like, have I done too much for myself? Am I too independent? Like, I wanted someone with the same drive that I had. And I always hear this, and tell me what you think about this, cousin. But for me, I always hear people say you shouldn't judge. Well, I personally feel like I'm judging you for me. I'm not judging you for, what you have going on in your life, but I'm literally judging you to see if you fit what I want, or what at
Exactly.
least I think I want. And so for me, it's like, I feel like I know what I bring to the table. So when I'm dating someone, you gotta be somewhat on the same path that I'm on. You can't be
And
lazy.
but this the thing about that, cuz to have that thought process, you can't have that thought process until you come to the point of where you actually want to have a real, true, and long-term relationship. Like people don't think about that when they're first meeting people. Someone's just in the days, their first steps is like, all right, just let me get to know them. Let's hang out, party a couple times, see if we like each other. Then blah, blah, blah. But I feel like if you think long term, I'm looking for a long term relationship. Whether I'm just meeting somebody, I'm paying attention to everything because I'm thinking long term. I feel like my time is valuable. I don't want to waste my time, whether it's for a week, 2 weeks, a month. If you're not going along the same road or somewhat along the same road I'm going in, but there's a sidetrack to that from a men's aspect. There's the flesh. This you gotta smile, you keep your hair done, and you got a job. Yeah, but she said she was filling out application, so but again, that man isn't thinking about having a real relationship. But that's another struggle of dating. You're not gonna find the perfect one off rip. You'll never find the perfect man without meeting 100 other men that you couldn't stand.
And that is true. That's why I say, first of all, y'all, like and share. Me and my cousin, we dropping some jewels. We probably gonna be thinking about some of the things that y'all thinking without saying it. But that's why I think that, when I first said men are, I said possessive, but territorial. We'll go with that. It is because how can I know I'm picking the right person if I'm just now getting into the dating world and the first person that approaches me and I start dating them and then you lock me down? How do I know if I don't date around that you are the best fit for me? Highway Hustler said, have to date a like-minded person. I agree.
But that's the thing. It's not about dating multiple people to know. It's just about doing the one thing that you said seems selfish. It's about knowing what you want and not settling for less. Like for some reason, people feel like that's a problem now. But I don't think that's a problem. That's a person who knows what they want and then not settling for less. If it takes me a little bit long and I'm single for a couple more years, that's all right. But long term, I know when I meet that person and we on the same wavelength, it just makes it just makes things easier for me to be in the same wavelength.
But here's the thing. Do you think that there is like what I often think, are we waiting around for the perfect person? Or are we dating, just thinking that, oh, I don't like this, so I'm going to move on to the next? How do you know?
That's the thing, man. I don't think we're waiting around for the perfect person. I think we're waiting around with standards based on, our past. And we understand people are going to be flawed, but I think just knowing you want that true love, you still think it's that perfect person out there for you. I still think it's the perfect person out there for every single person. I don't care if it's one date and you meet the first love, your first true love, or it take you 1,000 girlfriends later and you meet the true love. I think there's somebody out there for everybody. You just gotta, trust the process. Trust the process and trust yourself. And be honest with yourself and truthful with yourself. I feel like a lot of people, try to put on personas. Again, going to social media. You don't even be doing nothing, but just your Instagram looks amazing. You always everywhere. And that's not, that's not, I feel like people need to learn how to be themselves. Save a bunch of time in dating. Like me, I'll tell you this, when I in dating now, if I'm just interested in getting to know a girl or going out or whatever, I'm telling you, I'm not dropping a lot of money on a girl I just met. As a young dude, I was the complete opposite. As a young dude, it was like, oh, she was cute. Hold on. Where you want to go? What do you want to do? But getting older, I learned, man, a real woman that's going to be down for you does not necessarily be about what you can do. Financially, it's going to be about what you can do for a soul. That's how you keep them long term, man. Save your money.
He said, "Save your money." I'm with that. I'm definitely with that. I don't think that I'm looking, for someone to wow me with all of these. I've had that. Now it's more of like a connection means everything.
Exactly.
I want to know that we could sit inside and I could feel like I'm okay with just sitting inside watching a movie. Or we can go. Listen, my favorite spot is the lake. It's free.
Mm,
Get your little gas. Let's go, sit at the lake. Let's talk. Like, I like intimate things like that. Not that kind of intimate for these
but
perverts.
some
But like,
people,
just small settings. It doesn't have to be a bunch of money. I went tubing. That would have been the dopest date in
yep,
life. It was $12. You hear me? And
it
you just
has
floating down the doggone river, and you could drink. Look, I went and got some sandwiches from Publix. I think I paid like $8 for this sandwich, some little
ready.
drinks. Pack that. I even had me a little portable speaker, and then I'm sitting there looking stupid, saying, "This would be dope." You see all of these couples around, and I'm like, "This would be a dope date," and it's not expensive, so you don't have to drop a bunch of money just to wow somebody. And half of the time, maybe call me so New Orleans, I don't know, but I like the food I was raised on. Don't bring me to all of these fancy
Mm,
restaurants and I'll eat this.
mm. Who's selling
And I'm
cabbage?
not, I'm
Who's
not
selling?
trying all that new stuff because I eat with my eyes. If it don't look like it's good, I don't
Yeah,
want it. Thank you. So
I
don't
want
waste your money. Bring
some
me
little.
to, some soul food place where I give me some greens or something like. I'm a happy camper.
I'm with you there, cuz. But some people are the opposite way, and I just hope people realize it. That's a huge thing in dating is people just not putting on a persona and not being themselves and not being genuine. But I think that's not something you learn right off rip. You got to learn that all the time. Just
Yeah.
some people just don't have that in them. They're just always going to try to want to impress somebody. Now, don't get me wrong. When you do find the one, you are going to want to impress it. I'm just saying, do it for everybody because everybody is not worth it.
That's true. Listen, you answered something without me even asking. And it was, let's start off by me asking you, how do you see women now versus now than in your early 20s? And you just kind of sort of said it,
Oh,
when you was talking
wait,
about the dropping, large amounts of money on everybody to try to, and I don't think that that's you being authentic, because if you're not going to keep that energy throughout our courtship, I don't want it. I want you to keep that same energy. How you met me is how you're going to keep me.
exactly. Exactly. And then I'll tell you another thing about spending money on women. And I was talking to my friend about it, and he didn't believe me. I was going to tell him. I went to tell him. I'm like, "Ooh, I can't even tell you because just in case my cousin talk about it, I got to tell her." But it goes both ways. Not just for men dating women. It's for women dating men. Because I've known plenty of relationships where there was a woman who wanted true love. And she met this dude, and he was the most amazing man in the world, but he was going through a hard time in his life. He didn't have a job. He didn't do this. The woman was there to take care of him. She did everything for him. If he needed this, she got this, and she had his back. And that's all great and that's all lovely. But I feel like when it comes to those situations, there's two type of directions you can go when you're trying to wine and dine a person you're interested in. Okay, I could wine and dine. What you need? You need your nails done. You need to do this. You need to do that. I'll do all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But what matters to me as a man long term is I've got to think this to myself. Can she do it for herself? I feel like if a woman can't do it for herself, you're not whining and dining. You're not treating her to anything special. If you're taking care of me, overall, long term, I know stuff happens, but I just mean overall, then all I'm doing is teaching you how to live outside of your means. Why
That's
am I
true.
nails done? Or you taking me to the barbershop and get me the new $300 J's, and I can $100 J's myself. I think when it's just got to be a balance in life of helping each other grow and living within your means and just doing stuff and coming up together. But to do all that, you've got to be on the same page.
Yeah, I agree. And that's so true. And there are some women that are looking for men to upgrade them. I personally believe how you meet me is how you should keep me. So for me, I meet people that think that they want to impress me, right? So they want to buy me the latest something fancy, right?
Mhm.
Well, first of all, you can't come to me and say I want to buy you a Louis. I can't afford Louis myself, so no, don't buy me that. You know what? Go give me that little $200-$300 coach that I saw that was super dope, because that's what I like. For me, I wear American Eagle. That is my listen, if you pay attention, all my jeans are American Eagle. I have 2 pair of jeans that came from Buckle, and I can't fit them no more. Don't judge me. But but American Eagle fits me the way that I like, and I am into what I am into. I'm not looking for somebody to change me up or glow me up. I want you to maintain what I like. I like what I like. I'm not interested in all of that labels. I don't want to walk around with all of that stuff. For me, it's like, why would I allow you bring me a Louis bag? I'm gonna say how much you spent on that. And in my mind, I'm thinking you went spent. I don't know how much are they, cousin. I don't know how much you
Man,
think they are.
a basic Louis bag is $700.
In my mind, I'm telling you, I could take a whole trip off that.
Man,
I'm interested in traveling.
come
You
on.
know, I
But
sit behind a computer
you're
all
in-
day. I can find us a place to go for that 700.
man, come on.
So do something that I'm interested in. Don't do something that you want me to be in. Do something that I'm interested in. I'm not looking for a glow up, because even if I wanted to, I could buy my own bag, but that's not what I'm into. I'm
Exactly.
into what I'm into, and I'm not in it for somebody, whatever they
All
have.
right. So from a man's perspective, how do you approach the woman who's into that? You personally, you're not into that, but there are women in this world who gonna say, well, I met this man, and the quickest way to her heart is to just drop bread on him. Is she worth even chasing? Because there are women like that.
I don't believe at all. I honestly think that if that's the caliber of woman she is, you need to just move around.
Uh-huh.
That's not somebody that you should even be interested in, because I believe a real woman should I'm looking for a partnership kind of sort of. I believe it is a woman's job to be a helpmate, right? I can't mess with a man that's passive, right? I'm looking for a full-blown leader. You have to be a leader in every sense of the word, because I'm
Well,
I'm, I'm gonna give you some. Yeah, I'm attracted to dominant men. You can't be you can't be just a passive man around me. And so for me, that boosts my ego, and I'm like, I want to help more, because I'm like, yeah, babe, go get it. What you need, I'm gonna make sure that he have whatever he needs to fulfill whatever we are trying to do. I feel like it's my job to help you. And so if I'm just taking from you, I'm not really helping you.
man, thank you. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not. So I have a couple of questions for you, cousin.
Let's go.
Let me see which one. Ooh, big one. I am into masculine and feminine energy. That is like my thing now. I read this book. Hold on. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. It is the ways of a superior man. I think it was a couple of years ago, and I read that book, and he talked a lot about energy, right? And so he said in the book, I can't remember the author. I'll get all of that, and I'll leave that in the description. I mean, not the description, Lord, look at me. I'll leave that in the comment section. But he was talking about, he mentioned that men and females, both of us, both sexes, we operate and we both have feminine and masculine energy. And as you read into the book, you understand what he's talking about. So, like, say for instance, to me, just hear me out. I'm not saying men are feminine. I'm just
All
saying
right.
they have some feminine energy. They could operate in their feminine energy. For instance, if a man, and I'm like, I'm asking him something, he like, whatever you want to do, babe, whatever you want. To me, that's just like, you're not for me, the alpha man is gonna say
Make the decision.
exactly
Why?
that to me.
Listen, why is that a big thing with women? So because you're indecisive, I gotta make the choice. And if I don't make the choice, I'm not masculine enough.
No, that's not true. Here's the thing. I definitely think that there is a line, there is a thin line, but there is a way for a man to be masculine and be dominant and a leader, and include his girl in it too. For instance, if you say we're going somewhere, right? You've already picked 2 places and you give me the option. So now it's like you gave me an option, but you've already, you've already decided on, okay, so I'm gonna give her an option, which one you want to do. Or if you pick a place and you say, We're going here, but you could decide what we want to do when we get there. So there's ways for you to take your dominance and for you to ride with that, and for you to include her and make her feel like she has some say so in it too.
Nah, see, that's my thing. I'll say that. I learned in life, women do, man, listen, if you're going out on a date and you say, wait, want to go to eBay? And they say, oh, just pick. Just pick. Do not give her the option again. And I'm like, you sure? You want to just go here? We can try it. Don't do no option. I found the best way to meet you in the middle is say, you know what? All right, I'm going to pick where we're going to go. Just tell me what you want to eat. You want seafood? You want Chinese?
There we go.
You pick the genre. I got the rest.
There you see? That's what I'm talking about.
That way.
But I'm not interested in a yes man. A yes man just is just so not attracted to me, because then I feel like I can walk clean over you. And if the old Toya, let me say that, because I've matured. I'm not in that headspace. But the old Toya was like, oh, okay, you're going to let me do it? I'm going to do it. Now I'm like, that's just not what I'm attracted to. So now I'm not in a place where I'm looking to hurt anybody or play with anybody's feelings. So I'm just going to move around and I'm going to tell myself that's not what attracts me. That's not what's going to keep me. And I want to honor people. I don't want to do anybody a disservice. If I'm not attracted to you, fully attracted to you, then I'm not going to play with your feelings. I'm not going to play with your emotions. I'm just going to keep it moving.
Yeah, most definitely. But some people just like to play games. You just got to reach that age, where you're done playing with games and you actually want something that long term. That's a huge thing about dating. Dating starts at you. I feel like the only thing that happens in life is what you allow. Some things, there's a few things that are out of control. But when it comes to like the only thing that happens in life is what you allow. You meet a dude and you like him, and you think he's so fine, and he's playing you to the side, and you know he's playing to the side. But in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, maybe he'll change. Stop thinking he gonna change.
No, this is the biggest thing. Like and share, y'all. Like and share. Here, I'm about to drop the biggest jewel. I have learned through just my experience in life. You never date someone's potential. You date them for who they show up to be in your life right now. Far too often, we as women and men, we date for their potential. I'm not dating you for your potential. I'm telling you, take a sip off that, cousin. That was a big one, because I had someone that I was like, man, he could be so great, but who is he now? And here is what I had to assess. I am 36 years old. And if I'm dating, and that person at that time was older than me. So for me, you have to already know where you're at. You have to be somewhat settled in your life for me to be attracted to you in that sense. So I'm not dating your potential. I'm dating who you show up to be right now.
Ooh.
So wait, before you say, there you go. Before you say something, Christina said, don't confuse indecisive with wanting to be led. Okay, we hear you. Howard Hester said, that's good, Toya. Oh, Lord Belong said, you better preach.
No, Christina. No, because this is okay. So how can you separate the line between wanting to be led and calling a man controlling?
Say that one more time.
I said, where do you draw the line between a woman wanting to be led and a woman thinking a man is being controlled?
Ooh, jeez.
Okay, you want to be led to go out to eat? All right, we're going to wake up this morning. Hey, babe, wake up. We're going to Denny's and eat breakfast. All right. Lunch, you know what? We're going to go here. Dinner, all right. I'm going to cook. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to ask you what you want. I'm going to just make it.
No, see, that's the thing. You have to mix it up. You have to have a little bit of everything. So when I say mix it up, no, hear me out. So because I said partnership, I didn't say for you to, and when I say lead, I don't mean you just completely lead in every aspect of our relationship. I'm saying take the lead on most things, but then there's some things that you should also be asking me, babe, I know yesterday I said, I picked Dennis. You want to pick today? Something like that. Don't come in so headstrong where you just completely taking over everything for me.
But man, I don't know. As a man, that's hard to do. I haven't met too many men who even mastered that skill. I'm gonna be real with you, ladies. I don't want to let y'all think the dating pool is thin. If you want you one like that, you're gonna have to dig deep. You have to dig deep and just stick to what you enjoy and what makes you happy. I think that's an important thing, man. I learned that, and just don't lie to yourself. I felt like as a younger man, I wasted a lot of time, just on living in the moment of with somebody. I didn't think long term when I met a girl. I was like, oh, bad. I want to talk to her. I'll figure out later on if I like her or not. But now, if I meet a woman, my first thing is, can we have a conversation? I don't even care. Of course, we're gonna have some type of physical attraction, but the important thing is I've got to be able to have a conversation with you, because people grow old, things happen, body changes, the mind, the heart, the soul. That's all the same. You're gonna mature, you're gonna change a little bit, but I feel like a conversation with a person says a lot about you. Not an Instagram message.
Take your own advice, Mr. Texter.
I know. Like, yeah, work, girl. You gotta.
So wait, I want to ask this question.
All right.
This was something that I struggle with so much. Men say they want the truth, but my personal experiences, they can't handle the truth. And let me explain what I mean. I'm saying, I remember at one time, I had took approximately a year, and I was really doing a lot of reflecting. I was doing a lot of self-love. A lot of people say they operate in self-love and they love themselves and all of this, but I'm talking about, I had shut everything down. I mean, I was just myself. I didn't, my phone was so dry, cousin, nobody was calling, right? And so I was dating myself. I was taking myself. Now, majority of the time I was going to the movies by myself, but I was dating myself. I was really trying to get to know what Toya likes outside of someone else. So when I came around to actually opening myself up to date at that time in my life, I was saying, you know what? I had just learned the difference between honesty and transparency. They're totally different. Honest is if you ask me something, I'm just going to tell you the truth. Transparency is for me to tell you ahead of time without you having to ask me, right? True. So I was trying to be transparent. That did not work.
I don't got it at all.
So it was like, how do you know when to operate in either or are men looking for one or the other? And my last question is, do you believe, in your honest opinion, that men want to know the absolute truth? Can they handle it?
But see, that's the thing. Do men want to know the absolute truth? Yes. Can they handle it? Absolutely not. They can't. Listen, I am
so glad you said that.
I'm an emotionally strong man. I've been through every emotion a man can go through, a ton of emotions that most men won't even admit that they've been through. So I can tell you, when it comes to, well, I'll say men, the only thing men can't handle is heartbreak. And that's the main truth that I think a woman would be worried about telling a man is heartbreak. Because women are a lot stronger in taking heartbreak and keeping it moving versus men. I
know why.
The only reason I can think of is because y'all have kids.
No, that's not why. Let me tell you why. Because women, we are groomed to be nurturers, right? So we are groomed to be in touch with our emotions. Men, what are y'all, when you was raised, stop all that crying, boy, toughen up, this and that. So you guys were raised to not deal with your emotions when it comes to like the softer side, because growing up, y'all was always praised to do tough things, and crying was for weak people, and crying was, so y'all was suppressing those feelings. So I personally think that is why y'all deal with heartbreak a little bit different. And I also think that is why men don't love as much as women. See, it's okay for us to express ourselves crying or, being this or being that. Tell me what you think.
Cousin, women, I think men love harder than women. You just said women harder than men. I honestly believe men love harder than women. Women love more than men. Yes. I think it takes a lot more for a man to love a woman than it does a woman to love a man.
Okay.
Men,
I'm hearing you out.
I don't think men, a lot of men see the potential of what a woman is long term. You know, for most men, they'll just go off of, is she beautiful? Can we hang out? Is she cool? Do I like her? Boom. That's enough for me. To actually fall in love with somebody, you actually have to get to know them. You know, you got to know their wants. You got to know if she wants you to be the stand-up man, if she wants you to be the man to take the seat in the back of the bus, and you've got to be okay with it. You've got to have that connection. But for a man to build that connection with a woman, it's a lot harder to do because of that childhood. Because we were told you got to be hard, you got to be a man, you got to be a thug. So, or not even a thug, but you got to be tough. You can't cry. You can't show any emotion. So if you tell me I can't show any emotion, how am I supposed to show this woman, how much I love her?
But I also think that we as women have to take accountability for that too, because we have to create a safe place for y'all to be okay with being vulnerable. And Highway, I hear you. He's saying that a lot of women think that men are soft when they show emotions. But here's the thing: I think that falls on us because we make y'all feel less than. Sometimes we have, probably, right? And I can agree with that. But I think once a woman has matured, she should create a safe place for that man to show emotions. We're not looking for you to be emotional about everything, but there are times where I think it's for real. I'm all jokes aside, I think it's sexy when a man shows his vulnerability in a healthy way. If
Yeah.
someone died in his family, for him to be vulnerable enough to cry, or for him to express how he's really feeling in the appropriate time, I think it makes me feel like, oh, I'm building a connection with him. So I never want to make a man feel less than for showing his vulnerable side.
Yeah, and as a woman, you should feel like that, because I think as a man, that's one of the toughest things, if not the toughest thing, to do around a woman that you care about and you want to see in that perspective, to actually cry in front of her. Because in men, no matter what feeling you experience in life, whether it's a death, whether you have a reason to cry, in a man's soul, crying is just a weakness. It just is. So to actually open up to a woman and cry around a woman, man, that is hard. I can tell you, just from experience, when I was this girl when Sierra died, when cousin Sierra died. We was dating, and we lived together because we had been together for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I never cried around. But Sierra was a piece of my heart. She died. They called me and told me she passed away. Man, we had a 3-bedroom house. I went in the garage just to go cry. She couldn't even find me. You know what I'm saying? Just because as soon as I heard the door open, I said, "Oh, you're all right? Yeah, I'm all right. Cool."
And what does that say about your relationship, that you didn't feel that it was a safe enough place for you to share that emotion?
Exactly.
That says a lot about your relationship to me.
And when she came out, she said, "Oh man, you don't gotta hide it." And then I realized I was tripping, even trying to hide it. So I sat there and bawled in front of her, because that is a big thing.
Right.
That's a huge thing of opening up to someone emotionally.
Yeah.
But again, it's hard to get a man to open up emotionally to. But once he does, just take it easy on him. That's all.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Oh, it's women emotionally. Men are not. Men, we can put up the walls. I can put up the walls all day. But everything behind the walls, man, that's a whole other story.
And I think that for me, I see all of my brothers as kings. I'm so sincere when I say that. I think that men have, black men in particular, y'all have it so hard when y'all leave outside these doors. Y'all have so much of pressure. Y'all were raised to be providers, and to be protectors, and to be all of these things. And I think it is our job to make sure that we create a safe place for y'all to be whoever you are in those moments. Also, I think that it's our job to help you along the way, to give y'all whatever tools y'all need, and to make it to where you come home, you don't have the same pressures that you do on the outside, because the world is mean to our black brothers outside of these doors. So I think it's a woman's job to create a good, calm place for you when you come home.
And I think it's a mutual thing. I think it's a man's job too. That's another part of being a man. You got to go out there. You got to get it, and you also got to be able to come home and make sure everything calm.
Yeah, that's true.
It's definitely a mutual feeling, but it's something that's a lot easier said than done in today's world.
It is.
Especially for a black man. We got the odds stacked against us, man. And I hate to say it, but that's just what it is. But with that being said, it's something we've known about. You know what I'm saying? At my age, racism has always existed. From growing up from a child. My dad taught me, hey, when this happened, do this. Do this. This is how you avoid this. And life experiences taught me how to do this. You know, we at times like now, we just got to be smart, man. You just got to be smart. Stop letting the world overcome us with all these crazy thoughts and just have common sense, man, and man up.
Yeah.
But people always tell me, they go, oh, yeah, man. I literally met this lady the other day, cuz, and we literally had like a 2-hour conversation because she didn't believe me when I said I had been like pulled over because of the color of my skin. It was crazy. It blew my mind. She didn't believe me. She couldn't. Her mind was, he did what? Because you were what? Man, we ain't gonna even talk about that. With my girlfriend, it was crazy. This relationship thing. Don't worry about it. But in today's day and age, we gotta have each other's back. If I'm gonna date you, no matter where we go, I know you're gonna have my back. No matter where I pop out, I know you're gonna have my back. You know, no matter where I go, I'm not gonna let nothing happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Large crowds of people. You know, just like you said, you went on your soul search. I did my soul search, and it made me cut off a ton of people.
Yeah. Listen, now my phone, I no longer have to worry about my phone. I remember back years ago when my phone rang, I'd be like, oh, what he calling for?
Man.
Now I don't feel like that. Anybody that has access to Toya,
man,
you're okay to have access to Toya. You know why? Because I'm okay with you having access. I'm not gonna lie to you. Today, someone FaceTimed me, right? And I was like, you don't get to FaceTime me, block. Like, because in my mind, I'm like,
waste
I
time.
can't have that type of energy around me. I don't care. You have to serve some type of purpose to have access to me. And I have found that men are like the full moon. They will pop in every now and then, like, just to check your temperature. How you doing? Here's my thing. Here is what I have to say about that, cousin, and then you can rebuttal. Here is what I have to say. If you want to know how I'm doing, 9 times out of 10, if you have access to my telephone number, you are some type of friend, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram. Check on that and go with whatever you believe to be true. You can see how I'm doing. Check on the girl on social media. Don't call my phone trying to check my temperature, seeing how I'm doing. Because if you're not consistently talking to me, you're not going to drop in and out of my life when it's convenient for you. Not this girl. Pop my hair on that one.
Rebuttal. I am so glad you said this, cuz. So, from a woman's perspective in dating, I now realize that consistency is a huge thing. From a man's perspective, our definition of consistency is different. I kind of think in a great woman's mind, we're getting to know each other. We're going to talk to each other all day. Not necessarily all day. We've got careers, we work, but we're going to talk to each other every day. We're going to have a text. We're going to make a phone call. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But we're going to stay in consistent communication until we decide if we like each other or not. From a woman's perspective. In a man's mind, I could text you Monday, like, what you doing? Miss you. Have a 5-minute conversation. And be like, all right, I got work week. Don't talk to you Tuesday, Wednesday. You doing all right? All right, that's cool. Miss you. Let's see you. That'd be nice. All right. Friday. All right. Weekend's on. We got some time. You busy? You need anything to do? See, for a woman, that's not being consistent. But as a man, I don't know you. I don't know you enough to want to talk to you every single day. I'm on break, girl. I'm trying to chill. Game's on.
Now listen, I don't need somebody to talk to me every day. That's not what I'm looking for. Mr. Joseph Lofton said a man needs a woman to bring balance and have his back. I agree. I definitely agree, Lofton. I agree with that. I definitely think that there's a balance to even what you're saying, communication. In the beginning, I don't need to talk to you every day, but if we're talking now, it's going on weeks and months. You got to change up a little bit. You got to show a little bit more interest. But if we're just now getting to know each other, then yeah, what you're saying is doable, right? I don't have to talk to somebody every day. But here is what you have to understand. And I know that this word, oh Lord, my Uncle Kojak is tuning in hell. Uh, so I think that it is necessary for you to understand that what you're not doing, somebody else is willing to do. So if you're not putting in that time and that effort to really, really, really get to know me, okay, you could keep relaxing. Somebody's gonna not be as relaxed. So I think if it's someone that you're really interested in, you're gonna put in that time to check in more. So I think it's just based off of how you feel about that person.
Okay. So with that being said, how do you express that to a man, a grown man who's been through about the same amount of stuff that you've been through, and he's hesitant on putting in that time because of his past feelings, because of his past bad relationships? So, I want to have this great relationship with you, but I've been through so much stuff to where I'm just trying to play it by ear. But
okay.
you want me to show it, but how? Like, why? Why should I?
Let me tell you why. Here is why I say that taking time for self is necessary, right? Because I think that you should have enough time for you to heal yourself completely before walking into any other situation. So for me, we all have baggage. We all have experiences, but we can't let those experiences hinder us from moving forward. You can't come to me saying you scared. Well, then you need more time to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't, that's just like you bringing baggage from your past and you putting that on my doorstep. That's not going to work for me. You have to put on your big boy drawers and understand that everybody does not deserve your energy. But the people that do, give it to them. Take a chance. Or else you're just going to be running around here scared and single.
Say that again.
So that's just my outlook on it.
Dudes, I'm about to have a chain on for this. But all women would think like that. Cause I feel like a lot of women don't think like that. I think like, some women who have been hurt before and, just over a long term, they do meet a good guy. And then, they get so scared, they meet that good guy and they tell the guy, oh, well, I've been hurt before. So I just don't want you to do this again. To me, that's a pet peeve of mine. I hate that. I hate when a woman listen. Baby, I'm the same age as you. We're in the same age range. Somewhat. I understand every bad situation you could have gone through, and I want to know your past. But I feel like if you express to me that you're still holding on to past emotions about me, it lets me know right then and there. I'm not getting a fair shot at you. Because you're not just thinking about me. You're thinking about what Joe Smo did before me. And that's not fair. Yeah. I always, just when I meet somebody, and not even just in dating, just when I meet people in general. When I meet a complete stranger, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You know why? You're a stranger. I don't know you. You've got one or two options. Accept what I just said. Don't like what I just said. It makes it short and sweet. I feel like once you start lying to people and, not being honest and being yourself, that's when you draw the gray line. Now feelings get attached, people get hurt, emotions get hurt, you fall in love over a lie. It's not even worth it. So,
But here's what I have to say about that. If you meet a woman like that, that woman hasn't fully healed. She's not ready for anything that you're going to give to her. You have to meet someone who has fully healed and is ready to receive what you're willing to give.
Okay.
If you meet someone like that, then you have to keep it pushing.
It hasn't fully healed. What if she got that soft brown skin and hair?
You gotta stop thinking down there. Think of here. You gotta look past that. It's not all about looks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they have a lot of pretty packages that are completely damaged, but it's a pretty package. But when you open it, it's completely damaged. What can you do with that besides just what you're gonna hang up the package? Like the box that's wrapped pretty? No. You got to look past that. I think that we're in our mid 30s, late 30s, whatever. You have to be able to look past the outside. Get
Oh, yeah.
to know who the person is for who they are. Do you know how many men have came my way? And just how you can here is what I know. You can't tell me that you can't. If a woman comes to you, can you tell if she's with you just for what she think you have?
Absolutely.
I can tell if a man is attracted to me for what he sees. And I'm not saying I'm a bad looking chick, so I understand that I'm easy on the eyes, right? So I understand that I'm easy on the eyes. And so that's what 95% of the men that come my way, that's what they're attracted to. But for me, are you really trying to see who Talia is? I'm not worried about the fact that you just want some arm candy. I'm
Mhm.
more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you having an intellectual conversation with me? Are you calling to talk and hear what my tone sounds like when I'm saying certain things, what I like? You might find that I am not who you think I am on social media. Most people probably don't understand. I'm really for low key a nerd. Some of the things I watch on Netflix, you probably be like, what? A lot of people assume that I'm bougie or I'm stuck up or I'm pretty or I'm not hard. You know how many times people have said, "Man, you really cool. I thought you was snobbish. You was this. You was that." No, I'm not. And most people wouldn't understand. I like getting my hands dirty.
For
When
real.
I was with my ex-husband and we had the house, I cut the grass. He didn't have to. I did it because that's what I liked to do. That was my form of exercise. Painted every wall in the house. Well, not every, but most of them. Like, I like to do stuff. I like to get down there and get my hands dirty. I'm not just this pretty. I have to have everything together. But don't get it twisted. I like my nails done. I like my toes done. I like my hair done. Like I'm that girl too. So
Okay, but okay, so do you give a man a chance? Let's say you meet the man, and instantly when we first initially meet, I don't know you, so I'm gonna just be attracted by your looks. You're beautiful. I don't have a choice. But do you give them once you realize that he's just attracted to your looks? Do you give him a chance to get attracted to personality? Because that's the thing with men dating attractive women. At first they're not gonna care about their feelings, their emotions, their thoughts. They're just like, oh, she bad, she dressed this, she do this. But over time, you can learn to love an attractive woman for more than just her personality. But does a woman give a man a chance to do that? Because
I think that that's the whole point of dating. You have to give someone a chance. But in dating and communication, he's going to show you who he is. I can tell from one conversation if you're interested in getting to know Toya or if you just want to, you know what I'm saying, do some other stuff. I can tell.
let me tell you what my rule is. You got a 20-minute conversation. In a 20-minute conversation, I can tell you what our relationship is gonna be. Whether it's dating, friendship, just life in general. If I have a 20-minute sit down with you,
Yeah,
I can
I
find out
agree.
what are you really about.
And here is what I want you to know about women, most women. There's three things. I think communication plus consistency equals commitment. We want to be communicated to. You have to be consistent in order for us to be committed. You don't have that, you don't have this girl for sure. If you can't bring that, what are we talking about?
That's true. That's true. And see, as a man, that's what I want in a woman. I want that same energy.
Yeah,
Everything that a woman wants from me, I want the same thing from her. Only in the sense of I feel like if I'm being in a relationship with somebody, I feel like I'm a motivational person. So I want somebody
yeah,
who me.
yeah,
You know,
that's true.
I want somebody who wants to me. I want to be on that same wavelength. I want to wake up and know we in this together. And if we
That's
ain't in this
true.
together, I can keep doing it by myself because I've been doing it for a while now. And I'm making it.
Oh, y'all better like it, share. Y'all heard what my cousin said.
I'm making
Cousin, I cannot believe an hour has passed already.
for
It has
real.
been known that Toya Talks is usually 25 to 35 minutes.
My bad.
And yet we have been talking, but it was so good. Like, you are so amazing to talk to. This is crazy that we've never had these type of conversations. And it's dope that we can actually pick each other's brains on what we think. I think it's great to get a male's outlook on it, which was why I wanted to talk to you. And I hope that you feel the same on
ahead.
this end that I probably gave you a different insight. Y'all like and share. My cousin again was simply amazing. Robert, also known as Duty. Next week, I don't know what I'm doing, but I am interested. I hope some of the men that are watching, I want to have, cousin, tell me what you think about this topic. I want to talk to my brothers in particular. And I'm interested in having a topic on, and I'm still, brainstorming, so don't judge me. But I'm interested in having a topic on the route in which I think our young brothers are at right now, and what as men are y'all doing to help that, or how do you feel about it? I'm still brainstorming, so it's not clear my vision, but I kind of know where I'm going with it.
I think that would be an amazing idea to have, an amazing discussion to have. I feel like there's a huge gap right now between a mid-30s black male to an 18-year-old black male.
Yeah.
I feel one of the hugest gaps in the history of just African Americans in the U.S.
Okay.
Even with my dad, from my dad to me, I feel like we had a close connection. But just from the middle-aged black man to the young man that's out right now in high school, that's got so much access to the world at the palm of his hands,
Yeah.
I think there's a huge gap at it. And I would love to be a part of a group of, black men who knew what they were talking about to have that conversation.
Well, then I'm happy that you said that, because I would like for you to join in. And some of the men that are watching this, I would love for y'all to join in on that type of conversation. And it's not really for me; it's for y'all to be able to talk to each other, and maybe you never know, maybe a young brother is watching and they could learn something. So I'm interested. I'm gonna keep you tuned in. I'm gonna do what I do. Come tomorrow, I'm gonna reach out to a couple of the brothers that I've been seeing in the comment section, see if they're interested in doing something like that, joining us. But I don't want a lot of people. I want maybe 4 or 5 brothers to just have a discussion. But again, I didn't mean for this to run over into an hour. It's just we got lost in the conversation, and I think it was a great conversation.
Into the time. That means the oven is
it's beyond preheated. But again, Robert, thank you so much for joining Toya Talks. Until next Thursday, y'all keep it locked in. Stay tuned in. Toya Talks will be back next Thursday. And as always, I love y'all.
Love you too, cuz. Toya Talks. Like and share. Like and share.
Like and share.